Yo, it's your boy Jester the Undead.
And Sam Grimm.
And together we are Sick Fist. And right now, you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with your boy Skippy Ickham.
Dope tone, high quality beats.
I will give you everything, I'll even sell my soul, just to make you happy and to fill this empty hole. But you gave me nothing and I felt my hatred grow, as I sat and watched as our love turned into stone. So I've come to terms that this relationship must end. The ultimate betrayal of a man and his best friend. I know you may feel justified, but I'll make you repent and make you relive every second of our last descent.
This is it. The point of no return. I'ma make these bitches squirm and my soul is gonna burn. My revenge. I've been plotting every minute since she went and fucking did it. Now they both can fucking witness their demise. I despise all that's hidden in their eyes. Life of lies, I reprise all the time that's passed me by. Sabotage and utilize all the demons in your life to publicize the reason why that I've eroticized the time of your death. Bitch, you had to fucking do it. Let me waste my time to boot it. Leave me cold and so confused to think that I was gonna marry you. After all the things you put me through, I'll cut all the memories into you. How could you? How could you? But now it doesn't matter, bitch. I'm the echoes of your past, and I'm meeting with your present just to make a future burn to ash. Please don't struggle, bitch. I just wanna make you suffer for a couple more hours while you stare at your dead lover. Yeah.
Sit your ass down, have a chat with Iron Maiden, and you better fucking listen to the words that I am saying as I draw the knife in the shape of an A, so that every time you look at it, you think of my face, bitch. This ain't something I will let you forget, and the pain you're feeling isn't shit to the pain in my chest. You swore you were different, but you'll suffer like the rest, and your attempts to hide the truth are mediocre at best. Now as for you, motherfucker, I've got something special. You're claiming brother fam, but you're just an empty vessel, where evil lives and breeds. You're a walking, talking cesspool, and I'ma pop your eyes out like a festering pustule. Your problem is you're always thinking with the smallest muscle, so I'm gonna solve it with an iron pineapple. And you're begging and you're pleading is a sound that's almost sexual, and the feeling of revenge is unexpectedly exceptional.
Zachary Blunt, I had nothing but love. It was 4 long years of a brotherly trust, but the snakes will emerge and they act upon their lust, leaving wounds that never heal upon the souls of those they trust. With a long thin grin, you've accomplished so much, tore apart a friendship and the one true love that a man could ever have. So now I'll peel back your fingernails and cut trails right up out of Zach's back fast. So this is how it works. I'ma start with this incision right below the cheekbone and reveal the vessels. It is slowly one by one. I will eliminate the bonds and let the blood run down your face for every wrong you caused. Moving right on down to the ram set, to the hands, yes, a 22 shell blows a nail into the chair that you're strapped to when your tattoos are burning off with the superheated iron, bro. I hope the fuck was worth the loss.
Now the time has come, and I promise that you'd pay. You have no idea how long I have waited for this day. I have a lust for blood, and baby, you've got what I need. I will take your penance with us. Slice, slice, constant repeat. 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 Slice, slice, constant repeat.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Uncovering the Underground radio show brought to you by First Angel Media and Brutal Business Entertainment. As always, I'm your host, Skippy Ickham, and I want to thank you for listening in tonight. Whether you're listening live or after the fact, please click the share, like, and follow buttons to help us move up the podcast community rankings. The more that you do that, the more impact we have with the show, the more people that discover the show, and we would really appreciate it. So you can listen to it wherever you like listening to your podcast or internet radio, from Spotify to iTunes, iHeartRadio, and everything in between. Listen where you feel most comfortable. But please keep in mind, if you want to talk to us during the show, you can use the instant messenger feature on Spreaker, and that's SPREAKER.com, or through the Spreaker app on the app market. That allows you to talk to us in live time during the show, let us know feedback, interact with the show, and ask our guests each and every week questions that we will read out during the show. Now, we do bring you our show, as I said, each and every week, Thursday nights from 8 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I want to go over that with everyone because that is a recent change as of tonight's episode, actually. We always did 8 to 10:30 p.m. 8 to 9 was an uninterrupted underground music hour, followed by an hour and a half of in-depth interview and discussions. We have decided with Uncovering the Underground to change it around a little bit. We're now going to be doing 8 to 9:30, which will encompass the full interview itself. And instead of doing the hour of uninterrupted underground music, we will be playing a few different artist songs throughout the show as commercial breaks and mixing it up a little bit. So hopefully you guys like that. Been listening to your suggestions out there, been listening to ideas and coming up with a few of my own, and it seems like that might be the best way to go. So if you like the new mix of time slot and think it's a better fit for you, please let us know. We would love to hear your feedback. If you have any questions, concerns, want to get your music on the show, want to ask about different deals that we run, want to ask about being a guest on the show, please hit us up at brutalbusinessent@gmail.com, brutalbusinessent@gmail.com. We ask for you guys' constant, feedback on things. We always like to hear what you have to think. So thank you so much. And if you want to check out all things that we are doing here at Brutal Business, check out www.teambrutalbusiness.com, and it'll give you everything from our shows, events, music, modeling, horror review team, video game stream team, paranormal activity, investigations, all of that. Everything we do at Brutal Business is on that site. So make sure you check that out, share that around. Last but not least, I do want to thank our sponsors, Tattooed Scumbag Apparel. You can check them out at tattooedscumbag.com. From hoodies to sweatpants, socks, beanies, hats, you name it, they make it. It's comfortable. I rock it at shows on stage. I rock it while I'm just hanging out on the couch. Even when I'm out running my errands, I'm wearing, Tattooed Scumbag Apparel merch. So love what they do. I love that I can support a local company that I stand for and back, that they can do the same for me. They make good quality, gear. So you guys should check it out. And that's tattooedscumbag.com. Oh, yeah, by the way, use promo code BBE10. Get 10% off your overall order, whether it's a single item or an overall package item that you put together. They are giving 10% off of that at their site using BBE10 as the promo code. Also would like to thank Roush Designs, Legion Artworks, R3 Graphics, and 5mg Artworks for everything that they do. They help us out a lot on a lot of different projects, so it really means a lot to us. Real quick news, and then we'll get the show started. I do want to mention that our artist here at Brutal Business, Demo Demon, has released his new EP, Bad Feelings. It is 7 songs for the early portion of 2020 here, so make sure you go check that out. It is a free download right now. He's absolutely just giving it away. So it is called Bad Feelings, and that is by our artist, Demo Demon, an amazing rap artist here in Pittsburgh, someone you should certainly check out. So if you haven't listened to him yet, please go give him a listen. If you have, be excited about the new drop of this EP and check it out. I have. I love it. I can't wait to hear more. He has a lot more planned for you in 2020, so stick around. Speaking of amazing Pittsburgh rap artists and someone that you should certainly be watching out for if you haven't already, that is certainly our guest tonight. Good friend of mine and fellow, label mate, also here on Brutal Business Entertainment. A young up-and-comer that I've had the pleasure of tutoring in a way and kind of, talking to over the last couple years and forming a friendship, and then ultimately leading into the launch of what I think will be a very fruitful and amazing rap career. We got on the line with us tonight, Jay Allen. How you doing tonight, homie?
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm a little bit sick, but I'm hanging in there.
I hear you, man. It's been rough. I caught a cold back in, I think it was early December. Just wiped me out for a couple of days, beat it. It was like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, it hit me again, then it went away. Then I've been good, and then about a week ago I got sick, and I'm just now on the tail end of it. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? 3 times in one season.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. You see on the news all these people getting sick. I'm like, what the hell's happened? People, wash your hands out there. Wash your fucking hands, people.
For real.
So anyways, I wanted to bring you on the show. Wanted to get you introduced to a lot of the fans out there that haven't heard of you yet, or if they have, certainly tell them a little bit more about you as a person, as an artist, what we can expect. For anyone who has heard your first couple tracks, I know there's been certainly some buzz around it. There's been a lot of people talking that they're really wowed by what they've heard so far. And, you know, I'm proud to be able to back that and be a part of this journey for you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started in hip-hop, how you got started in music. I like to start out traditional, call me old school, but how did you get started?
Well, basically, I grew up listening to hip-hop, slash rap. My dad and mom are both big music people. They've showed me a bunch of different artists, and rap has always been, the genre that I went more towards, and I grew like a big passion for it. I studied the game, from 90s to today. So it's just always been a big part of my life. It's my first love. But that's pretty much what I say when anyone asks that. It was my first love. It's never let me down.
No, it's great. It can be a great thing in your life. It can be something you love. It can be something you hate. You're still pretty fresh into the gate, so you haven't found that hatred for it yet, where you just despise it, and then you fall right back in love with it again. It's a very twisted relationship and romance. I mean, 1 second you love it, 1 second you want to kill it. I think that's love in general. I think that's just how it goes with really anything that you passionately love wholeheartedly. You're gonna have great times. You're gonna have bad, but the thing is, as long as you can keep it together, it's a very good, journey.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not super worried about it. I know there's going to be, ups and downs, but I've had a lot of ups and downs already. So, I'm willing to take out whatever gets my way.
No, I hear you. That's what you got to do. You just got to kind of roll with the punches, learn from it, adapt, grow, and just keep pushing.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, you obviously grew up, listening to hip hop. You kind of leaned more towards hip hop, studied it a little bit, and got yourself into the scene. Now, who were your biggest influences at that time growing up? Like, what were you hearing that you were like, wow, I want to do this?
So many people. When I was real young, my dad's always had a system in his car, so we would always bump rap, and it would just be crazy, being like, 8 or 9 years old hearing a system. It's like, like the craziest fucking thing in the world when you're 8 or 9. But yeah, we bumped a lot of, old school hip hop, like Biggie. Biggie's definitely a big inspiration. My dad's favorite's Tupac. I favor Biggie over Tupac just because of like flow wise, and like he talks about more street shit and more violence and whatnot. Not that Tupac's a bad artist. It's just I've always favored Biggie and like his just the way he approached beats and whatnot. So Eminem, obviously, who hasn't looked up to Eminem, growing up.
Yeah, Eminem's certainly a part of. I mean, there are some people out there that are just adamant about saying, no, never liked Eminem, never been a fan, and that's fine, but you got to show respect. And if you're someone who says, I don't go to show nothing, fuck him, I don't like his music, you're just being stupid, man. I mean, like,
yeah, you're just a hater at that point.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists out there that are dope that I don't personally like and wouldn't listen to their music. They're not really for me. They're not my bag. But at the same time, I can stand back and say, wow, that person is super talented. It's just not something I personally care for. It's not my flavor. And that's what sometimes I see people hating on him. And I'm like, how can you hate on a career that has been this amazing and this fruitful, and all the things that have happened for him? Obviously his growth, becoming one of the biggest selling artists of all time, and falling off a little bit with drugs, coming back. And I mean, people are talking about his new album. No, I don't know, that isn't what he was. It isn't what he was. We grow as artists, and the thing is fans have a hard time understanding that an artist is going to change over the years. So there's a lot of times you love an artist at the beginning, but you don't like their later stuff, or you like their, vice versa. You like their opposite. And you got to realize people grow and they change over time. So they can either change to a sound that you don't like or one that you do, but it's evolving and you can't stay that same thing. So when people compare that to, the Slim Shady LP or the Marshall Mathers LP, excuse me, and they're like, that's not what he is anymore. He isn't doing it. No, he isn't doing that. Why would he? He did that back then. It's been done. He's done it. He lived that section and put it out. And he can never go back to writing that, because it's that your music is an accumulation of what you went through the last several years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you drop it, your next album is going to be the next several years in between those albums. It can't be that first album again or that second album. That's been lived. I have a lot of people always say, Skip, why don't you put out another album like The Divine Retribution of Skippy Ickham? And I'm like, because I can't. Right. It's done. It's been made. It's been put out. I can't do that again, because that was a section or a chapter in my life that has now been written and it's closed. Next chapter.
Right.
A side note to folks out there listening. I'm sorry, I kind of went on a rant there, but it pisses me off because I hear so many people hate on Eminem or talk shit on it, and I'm like, the dude is phenomenal. His new album is mind-blowing, even though, and I know you're not a big fan, Jay, I mean, anymore, but
yeah,
it's amazing. He is amazing at what he does.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, I definitely looked up to him, growing up, and yeah, you're right. I don't really, listen to his music that much anymore. And it's no offense to him, like you were saying earlier, it's not what it's not bad by any means. Eminem's phenomenal. He always has been. He always will be. I feel like he's unstoppable with his craft and how he does what he does. But yeah, it's just he doesn't make music. Like, I haven't heard a song recently that I would actually want to play again, if that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't listen to it over and over again. Although I did hear the one that he was chopping on his latest album, the one with I believe it was Juice WRLD.
Yeah, the one with Juice WRLD. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, he goes super chopper on that. Now, I know that there's been debates, and I think I've seen the post that you put that maybe is that one take or isn't it? I don't know, but even if it wasn't, that's fucking phenomenal.
Oh, it's very incredible, yes. 100%, yeah.
Because I'm quite the chopper myself, and I look at that, and I'm like, psh, okay, get the fuck out of here. Because, I can chop, but I'm like, that's beyond chopping. That's like retarded chopping. Like, you're just like making fucking turkey sounds at that point. You're flying so quick, but he keeps it clear, and he rides it. And I'm like, okay, wow. Kudos to you, brother.
Yeah, it's definitely wild.
Godzilla, one of our listeners just sent a comment and said Godzilla is the name of that song, and that is right. Yeah, he kills that shit.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, no doubt.
Her son makes, it says her son makes her listen to it 50 times a day. Well, Heather, we apologize that that is the case.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible time, honestly. No one wants to listen to the same song 50 times in a row.
Yeah, I don't care who it is. No, don't get me wrong. There is some songs out there that will get a second play. Like, it's not even common that I do that, like, back to back. But there's been a few times, you just listen to a song as soon as you're done listening to it. I'm talking that are not new. You might have heard it 300 times, but you hear it and you're like, I'm going to play that again. You just do the double play.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, for sure. I've done that.
But 50 times. I'm just reading the comments, make sure I didn't miss anything there. No, like I said, no matter what side of the coin you're on, I just say that the respect is there, and that's a lot of people. Artists like Kendrick Lamar. I got to be honest with you, a phenomenal writer, amazing rapper. I've maybe spent a total of 10 minutes listening to him in my life, and a lot of people say, "Well, how would you know?" I've listened to chunks of different songs. It's just not really for me. It's not my style of hip hop, what I care for. But fucking genius,
right?
You know what I mean? I respect's due where it's due. Now, half the new genre out there playing right now, I do feel is garbage, and I can't respect a lot of the shit that I'm hearing. And people are like, "Oh, sure." So I'm kind of a hypocrite in that sense. I'll respect what they do. I can't necessarily respect what everyone does. I respect the fact you want to get out there and play music and perform, but take time to put into your craft. Because if you're really making a mockery of it, I'm not going to respect you.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think you certainly showed people with your music. I'm not here to just fuck off and just be one of the newer edge artists. I'm coming out to actually show you I can spit.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think right now is a good chance to jump right into the first song, and I'm actually going to make it yours. We were just talking about the intro to you, and I think that's a perfect interlude into the first song. So why don't we take our first break? We jump into Intro by Jay Allen. We'll be right back on Uncovering the Underground.
Hey, be quiet, I'm on the beat now, so mind blowing, motherfuckers going scene now. Think it's pretty obvious what I'm gonna be now. I've been on the rise, got them thinking I'm a tree now. Said I'm finna fuck the game, about to play my seed now. Make the wrong move, watch your buddy never be found. Your career bricked, I'ma catch it off the rebound. You playing like shit, you can go and take a seat now. Look, right from the jump, I'll be fucking it up. Pussies running and packs finna slump. The whole bunch come at me for my paper. Your hoe getting punched, trying to keep up with me. That's a hell of a lunch. Heard he want beef with me, that's a hell of a lunch. I've been starving for beef, so I ordered me something. I seasoned them up and I started the monster. And I heard he last shit, then I threw it all up. Yeah, let me dumb it down for the slow folks. I've been running shit, y'all a bunch of slow pokes. You compare to me, that's pure comedy, yeah. Didn't know you had jokes, bro. It's ironic cause you the only joke, bro. Say your bread on fire, now it's toast, bro. Tryna climb, can't exceed, telling so. Come see me if you wanna learn the ropes, though. Y'all got me started, my track's the hottest. My flow retarded, kill shit regardless. You're disregarded to me, you're harmless. I'm Jeffrey Dahmer, guilty, your honor. Shit, non-personas, no Dalai Lama, no Gucci, Prada, death by designer. Still flexing on them, although I'm still in a state of prima donna. I'm just too real for the dumb shit. Everybody know the deal when I jump in. Fuck your assumptions, I get the bust and leave them with nothing. Treat the world like my ashtray when I have a bad day. Got them looking up to me, do whatever dad say. Girls on their knees, biting me like a sensei, and they do it cause they wanna know so they can get the rent paid. Please let me breathe. As a kid, I dreamed of being on MTV. Now I just wanna be as red as can be. I'ma just be me, don't wanna keep it PG. Bitch, I'm not free. First album, but it's feeling like a 3P. But you better retreat, not even halfway through the beat, it's already deceased. Can we agree? You don't like me, cold licking nutsack. Yeah, I see them tampons in your knapsack. Always liable to snap, so the fuck back. Put my name on the map, how you like that? Spend 6, get 12 back. All the space crack bad bitches sipping Jack right on my 6-pack. She got me a present, that pussy gift wrap. She spent time with me, you won't get your bitch back, that's facts. I heard you wanna succeed, but you won't even try. You ain't going nowhere, shit, I wonder why. Meanwhile, I'm over here making Roman cry. Cause I came along and stole a piece of the pie side. Is that good? Is that good? No? Hey, look, my flow's contagious, I'm sick with the spits. No vaccination is curing the shit. She masturbating when she listen to this. No procreation, but can still get the dick. Only time I kiss assing when I'm with you, bitch. When you ask who she wish, she just played the fifth. Y'all out of pocket, I'm finna blitz. Your throwaways are my pick six. I put twist on these words, calligraphy. I'm not a wannabe, I'm supposed to be. Many try, but they ain't even close to me. I'm a dope MC, y'all a joke to me. I've been working on my craft, it's a miracle. How I whip it if you can't get the heat. Get the fuck up out the kitchen, I'm a fiend for this music, all these beats got me itching. I'm a diamond in the rough, sit back and watch me glisten. Make them all jump like a group of pussies. Damn right, I'm a killer motherfucker. Push me, I've been doing this. You a fucking rookie. I'm sorry, y'all sweeter than some fucking tootsies. Y'all sons to me, here's a fucking cookie. Dropped a freestyle and look where it took me. Got an underground legend wanting to book me. Dudes flipping if they claiming they ever shook me. Said she wanna have my baby, tell her get in line. Bitch a steady line, I ain't got the time. She could be a dime, wouldn't change my mind. Still in my prime, I got plenty time. I've been the chosen one, they'll realize. I've been looking down from a high rise. I don't like what I see, time to skydive. This is views from a cloud, let the beat ride. Let's get it.
Brutal business, bitch.
All right, and we are back on Uncovering the Underground radio show. I'm your host, Skippy Ickham, and that was Jay Allen, the artist that we're interviewing tonight. We've been hanging out with him for the last 23 minutes and getting to kick it with him, get to find out a little bit about who he is, what he does, what you can expect from him, where you can catch it, and much more. So stick around. If you are just tuning in now to the show, that is okay. You can listen to us from now until 9:30. Once the show ends, you can go back and listen from the beginning. It is always aired on all of the online major retailers. You can click from anywhere and just stream the entire episode. So make sure you check out not only this episode, but all past episodes. Again, that is everywhere that you can check out podcasting. We would really appreciate it. Click that like, share, and follow button and share it around. If you are out there, we have people joining in, talking to us on the chat feature, instant messaging us, and you can do that through Spreaker.com or the Spreaker app. We would love you to be a part of the show, so jump in, talk to us, ask our guest questions. And as I said, that is Jay Allen, Pittsburgh underground hip-hop artist, and that song that you just heard rightfully named Intro. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that song, Jay, and tell us, about the project that it's on and what's going on with that right now.
Well, I have an album coming out called Views from a Cloud, and obviously that's the intro on it. And basically I just wanted the intro to be a punch in the face. Like, I just wanted to come out just rapping, and like, I'm pretty sure I spit for like, I think it's almost like 4 minutes. I think that track's like 4 minutes long. Like, it's just me, just no hooks, just bars, the whole time. And I think I did it pretty well. So that was kind of the inspiration for intro. I was just like, all right, like, if I'm doing this, like, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna fucking punch people in the mouth. So like, that's kind of where intro came about. Views from a Cloud is kind of a project I've been wanting to do for a while. It kind of means a lot of things. People were taking it as like views from a cloud, like, I mean, it's no secret that I like to smoke weed and stuff. So people were like, oh, it's like, it's going to be an album about weed. And I'm like, no, it's not going to be just an album about weed. Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. It's basically, it's just like my views, like how I view the world, and, how I feel about certain things and certain topics. And, with my music, it's a little bit different. I don't have like a lot of hooks. It's kind of just me, just spitting real shit, or like bragging, about how like good I am and shit, which, what rapper doesn't do that? But, yeah, Views from a Cloud, I'm really excited about the project. I think it's pretty versatile. I think like, if you don't like one song on it, maybe you'll like another one, because they're kind of different. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I think there's certainly a lot of different sounds, not even necessarily sounds, but a lot of different, catching material in different ways. So if you like hip hop, you're going to find something on the album that you like and relate to, even though it might not, most of the songs might not be your thing. There's going to be at least a song on there that catches you and say, okay, yeah, I feel this. So it gives a lot of opportunity to reach a lot of different people.
Yeah, absolutely. That was basically the inspiration for it. There's a couple songs on there that were actually like pretty hard to like write, because they're pretty deep, and it's some personal things, not necessarily personal things that like super bad personal things. It's just like, personal things that I've been through and I kind of speak on. And while I was writing it, it was like, it was just one of those real powerful feelings. You ever write a track and like while you're writing it, you're just like, damn, like,
yeah,
like this is kind of like taking a lot out of me.
It does, man. It should. That's any good music though. That's the thing, is when you write a song, it should hurt. It should hurt in some type of way. It should hurt somewhere in your mind. Pain should be coming out, whether it's a happy song, whether it's a dark song, no matter what kind of song it is. Your heart and soul and your pain and your tears and everything that you have in between should be poured into that song, and you should feel it. And it should be hard not only to write it in generally as far as actually making the material, but it should be hard on you sometimes to release it to people. Because that's like I said earlier, that's taking the last several years of your life and that's compacting it into lyrical form. Now, people don't understand that the words I'm saying sometimes aren't even necessarily what I experienced over the last few years. It's different things ground up and put into lyrical form. That's what it symbolizes to me. And a lot of people don't realize that is what a song sounds like to you might have a certain meaning to you, but it might have a completely different meaning to the person that wrote it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It can always be interpreted however you want. That's the great thing about music, is it can be anything. Anyone listening to a song can take it their own way, love that song and fall in love with it. The person down the street fall in love with it too, and if they were to talk to one another, they'd realize that they've listened to two completely different songs, even though they're the same.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all about perception. When it comes to like any art, really, like I think that's what I love about art and just music in general. Like, it's just you know, it's very powerful, and I feel like it makes waves. You know what I mean? Like it just makes waves throughout people, and I just feel like it's just a great way to connect on like a different level, other than just like, you know, casual conversation and, you know, communicating.
I agree.
I think that's why I love music. Yeah.
It speaks in volumes, man. It speaks the universal language of music. I mean, it doesn't matter what language you speak, where you're from, your background, your ethnicity, your race, your sex, your gender, anything. It doesn't matter, because music speaks. And we can communicate to one another through music without ever actually having to talk to someone. I put on tracks from other countries that I didn't understand a damn word that was said throughout the song, but I could tell the rhythm, I could tell how they rode the song or the beat or the tempo and the overall feeling of the song, and I've dug it, and I'm like, wow. And the song spoke to me, but I have not a clue what was said or anything about what went into that song or the meaning of it.
Yeah, I've definitely been there too. I know what you mean. It's it's a great feeling. It's just it's crazy. I think you know, I love music for that reason. It's just real crazy, and that you can connect with people, and like you said, even if you don't know like what they're saying, like just the vibes that it gives off is just like, it's just crazy to me.
It is.
Music's wild.
It's wild, man. And I mean, the crazy thing is, Jay, think of it this way, and I have a couple questions that are pouring in here, so I will read them off in just a moment. Hang around, guys. But the thing about that is, you know, think of the fact now you have people that want to listen to your music. You know what I mean? It's not just you wanting to make music. It's not you just writing it. You're playing shows now. You have crowds rocking it. You have people listening to it, people that are certainly going to pick up this album. It's going to spread. You're in the very early stages, and that's what I like about tonight's episode is you are a very good artist, but you still have a lot of room to grow as far as just experiencing it. Not that you have to improve on anything, just that it's going to be an awesome journey to watch, and I'm glad we could get you on this show. I would love to get you back again down the road as a certain distance in time and see the difference in from A to B. It's amazing. I look back at myself when I started out, and a lot of the things you said hit home, because I started out and made songs that really weren't hook-driven. They were just very lyrical, nonstop, 3-4 minute long songs of just nonstop bars. And
Right.
and I look at back then to now and where it all's turned into and all the things I've learned and experienced, and it's like I'm so happy for you to get to be on that journey.
Oh yeah, I'm super pumped about it.
Like I said, it's a love-hate relationship, you know what I mean? There's been times I'm like, fuck this all, why did I do this? But you know, it's a good thing. You know, it'll be very fruitful for you. So I look forward to seeing what it brings. I hope the folks out there liked the song that they heard intro. If you do, please hit us up either in the chat or, you know, send us an email or a message. Let us know what you thought of the artist that we're interviewing tonight. Let us know who you want to hear on the show, and you know, who it is that's vibing out there right now that you guys are digging at it. I'll certainly reach out to him and get him on. So, but we have been, if like I said, you're just tuning in now, interviewing for the last 33 minutes in this case, Jay Allen, a Pittsburgh underground hip-hop artist, and we played one of his songs, Intro, so if you missed that, make sure you stick around. We got a couple more coming up soon. Jay, we've been asked by a fan, I have a question for Jay. Which underground artist outside of Brutal Business Entertainment would he most want to collab with?
Underground artist?
Heather, we don't know if it's underground or if it's mainstream. So to Heather Wheat out there that asked this question, I'll say we'll go with underground, I guess.
We'll go with underground because like my dream feature would be like Tech Nine, and like some people consider him mainstream and some people consider him underground. So like, but either way, I feel like I'm gonna go Tech Nine just because like Tech Nine is just incredible to me. He's been doing it for so long, and you kind of like Eminem, how we were talking about Eminem. Like, if you're gonna throw, you know, respect on someone's name, you gotta give respect to Tech Nine. He's a machine on the mic, and he's helped out a lot of people. He's put a lot of people on. Yeah, but if we're talking like super underground, I honestly wouldn't even know. talking about like people that like, because there's artists that I know that like nobody else knows, you know, that I would collab with. So like, you know, I would probably pick one of them, but like no one's gonna know who that is. You know what I mean? So I figured that's why I would go with Tech Nine, because I feel like people know who Tech Nine is.
Okay.
But,
yeah, no, that makes sense.
Tech Nine would definitely be, yeah. Tech Nine would be one. Trying to think of somebody else that's like Analyst. I would love to do a song with Analyst, if anyone knows who that is.
And who he is, yeah, certainly.
Yeah, Analyst is he's super dope to me. I think our styles are kind of a lot of the same. You know, he kind of mainly spits bars, you know, kind of has hooks, but not really. I feel like we would sound pretty dope on a song together. So I would go with Analyst.
Okay, so we got Tech Nine and Analyst. I like it. A very vast and separate set of choices there, and you have to give respect where respect's due, like you just said. I mean, even if you're not a Tech Nine fan, or you were and you're not any longer, or whatever, still a goat. You know what I mean? Still one of the best to ever do it. So,
Excuse me.
You can't argue that. I mean, even people that don't like Tech Nine's music, you can't listen to him and not say, "Holy shit!" Like the way he spits, his patterns, his speed, his technicality, it's phenomenal.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, I've always been a big Tech Nine fan, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, no, I still am a fan of Tech Nine. I don't listen to a lot of his newer stuff anymore. The list of people who I listen to are very, very odd. If most people see my playlist, they would just be like, wow, I've never heard of anything that this guy's listening to, and it's all bizarre as fuck. I'm a strange bird. But,
right.
You know what I mean? I'll pop in some Tech Nine from time to time, but I don't keep up with a lot of that. So if someone says, like, oh, have you heard the new Tech Nine album? I actually haven't.
Right.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't even listen to, and this sounds really crazy, outside of the select 30 albums that I listen to frequently, and that's 30's, probably an accurate number. I don't really branch out to a whole lot. Every now and then I'll take on another album or two. I take on an album almost like it's homework, where I'll take on 2 or 3 really good albums and I will just study the shit out of them until I've dissected them, and then I move on. I consume and move. And
okay.
Because I can't take. I got so much stuff going on that I can't take on a really good album unless I'm set to actually be able to analyze it.
Right.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the truth. The old Tech Nine gave me a lot of hours of good analyzation of figuring out all his lines and his bars, and pretty amazing. Tech Nine.
Yeah, for sure.
Heather says Tech Nine is awesome. Yes, he is.
Damn straight he is.
We got a few comments popping in here of people saying BBE and BBE forever. Much love to them. We love all of our Brutal Business family and supporters. Make sure you share us around. The more you tell people about Brutal Business and shove it down their throat, the more that they will become in tune to the fact that we are going to continue to grow, get bigger, and take over the world.
Fuck yeah.
But so a question I ask every single artist, Jay. You know what? Before we do that, I'm going to take a break. So you got to wait for that question, folks. We are going to jump into a song here by another friend of mine, Keegan Grimm. We had him on the show a few weeks back. If you haven't listened to that yet, please do. Great interview, great artist. And this song right here is called Gravel Mouth. This is a brand new track by him. And this is Keegan Grimm. We'll be right back on Uncovering the Underground.
Do you want the bold or the weed, the coke or the weed, the dope or the speed? Do you wanna fly, wanna flow through the trees? Either go into sleep or I'm roaming the streets. Everything's so cold, I just don't believe it. And everything is hopeless and so diseased. I thrive in the belly of a broken beast. I might go for your throat when you go to sleep. Yeah, how you gonna scheme when you set a fire? And how you gonna see me when you're out of eyes? I got information, I'm taking it to the afterlife. Revolution televised, memoirs classified. But the feast is open, and when I'm showing teeth, better speak a code. And you can die in your sleep when the mirror's broken. Staring back at our face, the soul, man, let's go then. Gravel mouth, gravel mouth, gravel mouth, spit it out. Gravel mouth, gravel mouth, gravel mouth, deceitful, I'm the Judas Priest. Holler at me when you find my soul. Pull the 32, I ain't missing the free throw. Still carrying the heat, I could easily reach for. Everybody shut their mouth, everybody eat mo. Shit, look at all my shit that I got no receipts for. I don't chase fame, bitch, I never chase hoes. Always in the same race, hunting down the pesos. When they took a straight razor to my tank torso. Almost didn't make it out that they paid for. Swallowing the vodka and eating the acetaminophen. Whiskey in the room and I'm biting on my wallet now. I've been going volatile, everybody dead again. I just wanna kill them all more than just a falling out. I'ma get them with something. See, when I settle in to hold a grudge, I forget nothing. When I'm done, just remember one thing. Everybody go to hell, that's a bell you couldn't unring. Grab 'em out, grab 'em out, grab 'em out, spit it out. Grab 'em out, grab 'em out, grab 'em out, spit it out. I've been doing it a minute, I know I needed the energy I could get in my zone. I am true deceitful, I'm the Judas Priest. Holler at me when you find my soul. I've been doing it a minute, I know I needed the energy I could get in my zone. I am true deceitful, I'm the Judas Priest. Holler at me when you find my soul.
All right, folks, we're back on Uncovering the Underground, and that was Gravelmouth by Keegan Grimm, a guest that we had a few weeks back on the show. Check out his episode, buy his brand new album, and support another great artist from Ohio. And Jay, you know, one of the questions I was about to ask you right before we went on break is, if you had to choose between picking one of the other, which one would you pick? First choice is having a hit song that absolutely blows everyone away, sets you for life. You're rich, you're famous, your family's set, you're good. Everything's great. You're a one-hit wonder, though. Everything else you make is a dud. Everyone's always going to refer to you as that guy that made that song. It's kind of like Vanilla Ice. Everybody's always going to be like, Ice, Ice, baby. You know what I mean? You're never going to live that song down because that song now has defined you, but you were set for life. Or do you choose writing just a masterpiece after masterpiece after masterpiece, no matter how hard you push it, and even though you know that you are one of the best artists to ever walk the face of the earth, no one buys it, no one supports it, you don't grow, no opportunities come, you just end up being this dude who has amazing songs that no one listens to? Which would you pick?
That's a tough one. I mean, obviously, you know, the main objective is to get money and fame and shit, but at the same time, like, I think I would rather have respect more than money. I've always been, I don't know, I've always been real humble, so, like, you know, if someone comes up and is like, oh, you know, like you're garbage, I'm just going to be like, yeah, man, thanks, like, sweet, you know what I mean? So, like, it doesn't really matter to me. Yeah, I don't know, I think I don't know. I think I would go with the hit after hit and just, you know, not get famous or anything. Just like I said, I think I'd rather have the respect, you know, that's deserved. Like, even if people don't like my music, like, I like my music, so, like, fuck them. That's kind of
I think what you're saying is not even other people's respect, your own respect. You need to respect yourself at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I'm not the type to, like, that I'm gonna sell out and make this stupid fucking song that I say the same word, you know, 30 fucking times, like most of the rappers of today, just to, you know, make millions of dollars. Like, that's not something I would do.
Yeah, you got to be true to your roots. I mean, here's the opposite flip on that coin, though, is that there's a certain line that you got to say, okay, that person's just a fucking punk, they sold out, or there's being smart. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of times you push your years and years into the game, you're pretty much, you know at this point you're not making it, but someone does give you an offer to write something that's not necessarily what you would write, and you don't necessarily like it, but as long as it still has integrity to it and it's a good song, I could see putting that material out for financial gain to finally make a step bigger, to as long as you feel okay with it at the end of the day. It might not be what you wanted to make it on, but I get that, because if you were at the end of, all right, I'm never going to make it, I'm never going anywhere, but then you get an opportunity, holy shit, maybe I should take this. I can understand doing it, because everybody says that they wouldn't, and that's selling out, but it's easy to say until someone slaps you in the fucking face with $1 million contract.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Because that's like the Facebook generation. People are like, fuck it, pussy, I would never, do that. I would never sell out like that. Bro, you've never seen more than like $5,000 in cash in front of you in your life. If someone fucking slapped you with a contract for $1 million and said, right there, sign that dotted line and you're going to make $1 million over the next 2 or 3 years, there's not too many people that wouldn't sign the contract. Now, like I said, if it was doing some straight mumble rap, some of the shit that I'm hearing now, no, I couldn't do it because I couldn't live with myself. But if it was writing like regular hip-hop instead of darker hip-hop, and it was shit that was nerdy that I wouldn't really listen to, that I don't necessarily like, but it was still a decent quality music, I would consider that. And I don't care if anybody calls me fake for that or not. That's just real life.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from with that, and I agree with that. I would. The thing about it is like I don't think I would have to sell out, because I feel like the music that I do make, it kind of like I can like make songs and stuff that like I don't swear and like that do like appeal to a big audience. I feel like I don't necessarily have to go out of my comfort zone and make something that I don't want to make. I feel like the music I do make can possibly get me there to that, getting slapped in the face with that $1 million contract. I feel like I don't actually have to sell out.
Well, if you didn't have that attitude right there, you shouldn't even be doing it, because that is the attitude to have, is, I feel like what I'm doing is going to get me there, whether, people seem to like it or not. I think that I have a quality product that should be heard, and you should have that admiration and appreciation for your music and your craft, so it's good that you do, and hopefully, people are liking that question. I always like asking, different guests that question, because there's a lot of different answers you can go with, and I understand either way. There's a lot of people said I would take the money and run, because you know what? I'm set, my family's set, and it is what it is, and hey, I knew I had enough to make a hit. And I get that. But then there's other people who are like, fuck that, I would never do it. I'm strictly hardcore. So I love the different variety of answers, so I completely love that one there. You have a fan leaving a comment saying, Jay, I am your biggest fan. You're going to make it, and representing Rural Valley Gang.
I'm not sure who that is, but yeah, shout out to you. Shout out Rural Valley. That's my hometown.
Chris.
Oh, yeah, that's my homie Chris. What up, Chris?
But, yeah, man, I mean, it's always nice to hear the different answers on that. Now, if you had to, I know you're pretty fresh out the gate, but I always like asking this question as well. So what is the biggest lesson, I guess, that you've learned so far in the music industry since you've started? And I'm asking that a little different than normal. Most of the time I ask what's the biggest regret that you have that you wouldn't necessarily redo, but you would never do it again. It's not something you regret doing, but you're like, hell no. But I'm going to kind of rephrase that and just say, what's the biggest lesson that you learned that you didn't know starting out, or that you're like, wow, I fucked up and now I learned from that? What would be your biggest thing?
I feel like the biggest lesson I've learned is just like, don't think about it, don't talk about it, just go and fucking do it. Because there was a time like when I was I first started writing and stuff, like, I was just like, I'm not good enough. Like, I'm not good enough. No one's ever going to like this shit. Like, I just, like, I don't think I'm actually going to go public with this, yada, yada, yada. And then when I finally did, like, people were, like, loving it. You know what I mean? Like, I was out in public, and I had people that I didn't even fucking know come up to me and be like, hey, man, like, you're that dude that raps, like, on Facebook and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, man, like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Like, so it was just crazy to me. So, I don't know. Yeah, I guess the either like, like just fucking do it and don't think about it. Or, if you want something done, like, you got to do it yourself, meaning don't rely on the wrong people, if that makes sense. Because there's been a lot of wasted time, me going places to record, no one showed up, me, me going, me making plans with people, they canceled on it. So I was just like, so that's kind of where it got to the point where, I mean, you saw all the videos that I was releasing on Facebook. Like, it was just me, in my room rapping because, like, anytime I had, something set up, people flanked on me. So I was just like, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm just going to get up on Facebook and I'm going to rap my ass off. And it kind of worked out. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
it does, man. You learned a few things so far, and that's great because, I mean, as a young artist and as someone kind of new to the game, it's nice to hear your perspective of what you've already been able to learn and kind of adapt to around that. And that's one of the biggest lessons you can learn is don't invest your time into people that aren't worth the investment, because all they'll do each time is waste that time. They will slow you down. They will hinder creative juices, and you don't have it to spare. Life's too short. Life's too precious to be wasting a bunch of time on unfruitful people that aren't going to help your career. They're only going to slow it down. And that's the thing, is everyone's going to say, oh, I want to record, I want to be in this, I want to be in that, but it's the people who have the dedication to do it. And whenever you realize you are the only person who has the dedication to do it, you just say, fuck being in groups, fuck relying on other people, I'm going to do it myself. But you know what? That's good to learn that lesson, because then you become more self-efficient and stronger-willed personally, and it makes you a stronger artist.
Absolutely. And it eventually gets you connected with the correct people, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been flanked on and this, that, and the other thing, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm gonna just do it myself. And then like you spotted me, and now I'm with you guys, and I'm recording, I'm doing shows, I'm doing, I'm on the radio right now. I'm doing shit that I need to be doing. So
good actions finds good people, man, and that's a thing I live by. Is if you live a good life, if you're good to people and a good general guy, and you put your heart and soul into things, and you're just a decent human being, good things are going to happen to you. The right people will find you. You'll be surrounded by the things in life that you need. And I truly believe that if you're out there and you're just a fucking asshole all the time, and you're miserable about everything, then your life is going to be miserable, and you're going to be unhappy, and you're never going to reach the goals, and you're always going to be the I would have, could have, should have guy. Or you could be the guy that, hey, I fucking did it and I loved it. Which would you rather be? So if you can get that mentality is everything. So when you can get there, you can reach the things you want to, and you have a great head on your shoulders. You have the right train of thought, and like I've said a couple times, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I look forward to what you can do in the coming years as you learn and grow in your craft, because it already has a very good head start.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking to progress and keep working and get to where I want to be. So
we get a comment here: going to set the world on fire. Burn, baby, burn. Well, with that being said, we're going to jump into another quick break. This right here is one of my favorite underground artists of all time. This right here is the fucking genius, Loke Saint. This is Lokesters Represent. We'll be right back on UTU.
Lokesters Represent. We don't need no education. We just want that low same music. Let me begin by welcoming the whole gang back to inside the crazy brain of this maniac. With a little help from my friends like Joe Cocker, this homie logo go dodo and total off of my rocket. Yeah, Mopanaka so I can spare fresh hold, and I'm not so sad I can go provocative living like I wanna. Still just a crazy kid showing and telling what I've done. Summon up something, dumping up my vigorous trigger tongue. Low Saints, the name you know as soon as the song begun. Represent the music we wrote, just take notice of this one. Heavily conclusive when flow this wrote this for everyone. Stepping low down for the beginning of me rolling tongues. You got fans, but baby I got loasters. Escaped out the whack award type of cycles without hosters. Bangers from every set, for the cities to side coasters. Even the country bumping with lifted big rigs locust.
We don't need no education. We just want that low same music. The entire generation of losters getting low down.
What's reppin'? These haters cannot handle me, can't be lit. Wait when I pick up the mic and I spit quick, running through all of my enemies. Devil considering me like click with the punk, cause I did put triple the sixes for the army. Your lows running up on them like it was the ones that wanna be starting them drama that they cannot finish. I'm here to diminish, up in the witness, I call it my fitness, yeah. So if you can feel it, then follow along, my people get with this here. We reppin' hard this year, respond with fear, we loasters. Scarred by tears, battle dark when it approaches. Check out an enemy, superhuman, the gotta be back in the moment strategy. Hard to not be the family, okay, this we're gonna be kicking me, say this, got me singing to the victory, banging with eyes, praying for me, slipping just like my sanity. Oh, got humanity, golden like they was panning me, rolling my soul in tragedy, make for a stronger man of me, so feel it, low, kill it, sizzling in my skillet, was ripping my nizzle, appealing to the ones that can realest.
We don't need no education. We just want that low same music. The entire generation of losters getting low down.
Yeah, what's reppin'?
Down on the losters, I'll be down.
All right, folks, that was Loke Saint, Lokesters Represent. As I said, one of my personal favorites. If you've never checked him out, please do so. Very woke and enlightened gentleman that his way of thinking, the things he is about in life, and the things that he posts are very similar to my views on a lot of different topics that are kind of out of the box, right field. His music speaks for itself and is always some of my favorites, so much love to him. And if you're tuning in right now, we are with Jay Ellen, a hip-hop artist from Pittsburgh. We've been with him for the last 57, 58 minutes, and finding out a great deal about who he is, how he got started, what he has coming up for you as far as releases, and just who he is as a person, which is an important thing for anybody to know about someone that they're listening to or hoping to get into, because too often we listen to an artist, we love what they do, but we don't know a fucking thing about them, and that's okay. But I always like when I find out about the background of an artist and say, wow, this dude had a great journey, or something that I connect with, which makes you more established with the music. So certainly while we bring you the show and we uncover the underground together, we've played his song Intro, and if you guys missed that, make sure you tune back in after the show and listen to that track. Here in a minute or two, we're going to jump back to another song. I don't mean to pound you with songs, but hey, this is a music-based show, and we're going to play one of his other tracks. But one of the things I want to ask you is, what do you have coming up as far as events that people can check you out at? Is that the Turtle Creek show?
Yeah, that's the Turtle Creek show. I have that one in April, and I have one with you and Demo, right? That one's coming up relatively soon.
Yeah.
Then I think I'm doing another one at Double Dealing with Nine Stitch and EKC.
Out in Elwood City, yeah, okay.
Elwood City, yeah. I believe that one's, I think that one's in March.
Okay. Well, these people can find all these dates out on, if you go to Jaylan, that's Jayalan, on Facebook, you can find his Facebook page, and if you do that, you can follow that. Make sure you do that, obviously, but it'll give you all the different dates in the areas that he's playing. There's several shows coming up in general, but obviously several Brutal Business Entertainment shows, and if you haven't been to a BBE event, you should. A lot of love in the room. It's different than your normal environment in the hip-hop scene. And we have a lot of different artists, a lot of great models, a lot of different people that come together as a family, and we enjoy entertainment. And a lot of our shows have a lot of our artists, back to back on the shows. And it just gives you a well blend of all different kinds of metal, hip-hop, and rock. So if you haven't been to a BBE event, please, attend. Speaking of shows, I have one this Saturday at Stage 1 in Clairton. And if you haven't been there, check it out. I've never played this venue. I'm fairly certain that they don't really do many shows there. This is kind of an experiment thing that the promoter's trying out, and we're looking to see if it's a good turnout or not. But that is Stage 1 in Clairton this weekend. Primate, Skippy Ickham, and a few others out there. I'm not even sure who else is on the bill. I apologize, but come out and check it out. Now, what was your mentality going in to writing Dr. Frankenstein?
Mentality was kind of just like, I found this really like gritty beat, so I was like, I just want this song to sound hard as fuck. Basically, I was like, I want it to be, kind of just like intro, like another punch in the face. That's like one thing I love about rap music is like the fact that it gets me like hyped up, and it gets me in the mood to actually like do things, gives motivation basically. I kind of, it's kind of the kind of music that you would work out to, basically.
That's what's up, man. Get up in the gym. Hit, man. There's a lot of there's a specific genre or specific following of just hype music. You know what I mean? Like music that you want to go to battle to. Like you have that hype playlist. It's like 15 different artists, but every song makes you want to punch a hole through a brick wall.
Exactly, yeah. That's basically, that was the mentality when I was writing that verse.
No, that's what's up, and we're going to let them see why here in just a second. For some reason, we had a fan, commenting, and this happens every once in a while, but I don't understand why, because I have full bars on all ends, but they said that they couldn't hear you for a minute or so, but then they said, well, there he is, and I didn't touch absolutely anything on my end, so who the fuck knows? But if you lost him there for a little bit, folks, hopefully you stayed with the conversation. Couldn't have been very long because... obviously the comment came in right after that, so but sorry about that, Jay. I'm not sure what happened there, but I think we caught most of everything you said. We're going to jump into Dr. Frankenstein here on Uncovering the Underground. We'll be right back.
I'll be so sick, boy, don't go to the doctor. I'll beat your ass, I ain't running with shotters. I'ma keep doing this until I prosper. Look what you've done, you created a monster. Picking your brain, you start to glitch. Drive you insane, you start to itch. Dig in my fangs, bust us a mist. Fuck with the gang, you get dismissed. Praying to God, he don't care about your wishes. You gotta grind if you wanna get riches. Don't waste my time, I ain't chasing no bitches. Remember, not only them stitches get stitches, little bitches. I am the truth, blow off the roof when I step in the booth. Hip-hop ain't dead, I'm living proof. Got plenty of flavors, bitch, come get your scope. Throw on any beat, I bet I ignite it. Can't handle the truth, that's why they fight it. I keep it 100, don't care if you like it. I got this whole rapping thing down to a science. You wearing disguises, you won't show your face. I swear, half of these people are fake. Can we draw the line? Let's meet the demise and leave it behind without a trace. The last line wasn't played, but it's over your head. How they make so many dollars, they don't even make sense. Top player, why am I over here on the bench? Now that doesn't make sense. Yeah, bitch, I'm the shit you can't avoid the stench. You better purchase some pledge, whoa. Switch flows more than I change clothes. Try to veer in my lane, your bitch ass getting told. If you bitches want beef, I swear I got a whole roast. Yeah, thought I'm off fucking a crock pot. Treat you like a baby punching your soft spot. They fucking with the flows, everyone is top. Watch 'em make 'em all jump, everybody playing hopscotch. Trying to steal my driver, run up on your chop shop. Y'all coming up short, yeah, y'all a bunch of crap. Plus I spit fireballs so that y'all call me hot shit. I'm trying to fuck the world, but I keep on getting caught. Block got to be yelling, don't hit me no more. But I fucking stay up till my fist is sore. I'm too raw, still it backwards last war. That's what I cause, hope you bitches like gore. Got the heart of a lion with a roar you can't ignore. My mind's a note asylum, you want to explore. Everybody claim they win and I ain't even keeping score. I'm just doing what I love, music is what I adore.
All right, guys, that was Dr. Frankenstein by Jay Allen. We've been with him for the last hour, and we've been talking to him for some reason a couple of minutes ago. Sounded like some of the listeners out there were saying that Jay Allen disappeared while we were talking specifically about the upcoming show section, and then he all of a sudden came back. So I could hear him either way, so I'm not sure why. Hopefully not everybody was experiencing that. But as we said, if you're looking for anything on him, go to his page, give it a like and a follow. Check out all the upcoming shows. We got several coming up in Elwood City, Turtle Creek, just a bunch of different places. So make sure you check them out and share it around. All right, so it looks like we should be in action here. What's your next? What do you got next? In line for us? You're about to drop us, with a full length album, and once you do that, what is the next plan? Is it going to be an EP? Is it going to be an album? A single? Do you not know yet? I mean, it's fairly new. So what's going on?
Well, after I dropped the album, which I believe we decided on March 20th was going to be the release date.
March 20th is the official release.
Yeah, I believe that's the official release date. And after that, I'm just going to, I'm going to do the shows that I have to do, perform for my album. I do have singles that I'm working on. I actually have 2 done currently that I'm going to, throw out, to hold people over until I do release my next project. I was planning on doing another album, but the idea I have for my other album, I feel like it's going to take a while, so I might do, a couple singles and then maybe drop a little EP of 3 or 4 songs, and then, just to give, the fans something to listen to while I'm working on my next album.
No, it makes sense. No, absolutely. That actually brings me to a good point that I ask, guests from time to time on the show. What is your thoughts? And I think this will resonate a little bit differently than normal because you are much younger than a lot of my guests. What is your thoughts on singles compared to EPs compared to albums? Because you come from a different generation than mine, and my generation was the last generation of CDs were the big thing. Now, obviously, you had CDs too when you were younger, but I mean, we were that teenage time where that was happening, that was going on, and then it flipped over to the MP3 and digital platform during our age, and then it's now flipped over into your age generation, and it's wild that is pretty much the way it's going. Everything's digital, everything's MP3. A lot of singles now are sold. People don't even write a lot of albums now. They just make singles. It did a complete flip. What are your thoughts on it coming from that generation?
I'm not really sure. I feel like if you call yourself an artist, you should definitely release albums instead of just doing singles all the time. I don't know really. I think that albums are just the best way to go because you can actually pick a topic or multiple topics and stick to them and actually get a point across rather than just being oh, hey, here's this song about fucking whatever. Listen to that, and then they just never, they keep releasing songs like that, and they never drop an album. I feel like their fans are gonna be what the fuck's this guy doing?
No,
you know what I mean?
True.
I don't. So yes, I mean albums are important. Are you talking physical copies? Are you asking
Yeah, I'm on the whole bunch. So you answered the question as far as that first portion. The second portion would be physical copies compared to just digital because mainly everything's digital now. Whereas that came out whenever I was a teenager. So everything before then was strictly albums or strictly CDs. I mean physicals.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, change is inevitable, especially with technology. You know, they're always coming out with new gadgets and shit. The platforms are what's big now. You know, Spotify. You know, Google Play Music, Apple Music. Those are obviously what's big now, and everyone's using them. But I also like physical copies just because like I feel like the real fans will go out and buy physical copies. You know what I mean? So it's probably a good idea to have both. Since we got out of the era of the CDs and whatnot, I feel that I'm still maybe gonna make like a few physical copies like of my album, mainly because it's my first one ever, so like that's pretty special, you know. And yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna sell like a few of them, like maybe do like 50 and like sell them to like, you know, the real diehard fans that I know will actually want a physical copy instead of just being like, oh, look, you know, here's, you know, Spotify. Like, let me go to Jay Allen and click on them. You know what I mean? I feel like the physical copies, they hold a lot more meaning.
Well, it's like people that still like buying records. I mean, there's a lot of people that grew up with records and they like them because that reminds them not only of the music that they like, but it reminds them of something from their childhood. Even despite the change, they have the old school way. And that's kind of what CDs have now become because, hey, it's like, you know what, I want the physical. I want it in my hands. Some people like that just because they like the physical, but there's a lot of people that are eclectic and they want to, you know, keep that and gather that because that makes them feel a certain way. But you do have to, like you said, adapt with the times and know that is kind of fading out in a way, and it's sad because like even my vehicle doesn't have a CD player now. And it's
right.
like,
a
wow,
lot of vehicles don't.
Yeah, a lot of them don't. They're fading it out. You know what I mean? They're like, you know what, it's auxiliary or, you know, Bluetooth only. Yeah. And it's like, wow, they're really just crushed the CD industry. And it's funny to think of things. We have a comment here. I'm a big fan of physical copies. I still buy them and also stream them on Spotify as well. People get blown away when I say I've never actually been on Spotify. I've never done it. I have no idea how it even works. Now, don't get me wrong, I have Amazon, and I've had Amazon for years, so it's pretty much the same thing, but I've never been on Spotify. I don't follow a lot of those trends, but it's crazy because I was there whenever Napster dropped, and Kazaa, and LimeWire, and you were downloading illegal versions of these songs, you know what I mean? Not to incriminate myself by any means, I, you know, didn't know better. I was like 12, and you know what I mean? And they were like, no, you can't do this. This is like not a good thing. And we're like, oh shit, okay. So, you know, everybody stopped downloading. They got rid of these sites and all that. And then a few years later, they're like, well, you know what? We can take these songs, we can put it digitally, sell them on big platforms like Spotify and have everybody's stuff on one thing. And that's a genius idea. And it became like a multi-million-dollar industry.
Right.
It's pretty crazy. Spotify is pretty much the same thing as Napster would have been many, many years ago, but it's a legal version of it.
Right.
unless Trojan viruses and you know, fucking hackers.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to worry about any of that shit.
You're like, I want to listen to a song, you download it and your computer explodes.
Yeah.
You're like, shit, I picked the wrong file for it, man. What was I doing? Crazy times,
right.
Crazy times. Let's see here. Let me catch up with some of these comments. CD is better experience sonically than the digital. It does give different sounds. You know, it just like I was mentioning with you know, records. Records give you a completely different vibe. Now, obviously, a lot of new music, it wouldn't matter, but I'm talking some really good bands, some blues, some things like that if you listen to on record, there's no comparison of that compared to a CD or a digital copy. The record sounds way better, way fresh. It's like it's raw. But the difference between CD to MP3 is minute. You know, it has a difference depending, but it's very small. So I don't know about that. Now,
yeah, I don't know. I like vinyl records. I think they're cool. Like, people still rep, like, you know, the vintage, like, vinyls and you know, the old record players. I think it's pretty cool.
Oh, it's awesome. I grew up with one in my house and I loved it, and it was great to. And the thing is, I didn't have anything like Led Zeppelin or AC/DC. This one was an antique one, and it was very, very old records, and it was like shit that you would see in cowboy movies and just
Right.
old like 1920s movies. But I was cool with it. I would put it on all the time. I loved the sound of it because, as I said, it gives a very record player sound,
Right.
and it's a certain type of like. I got a fan here saying, I've never used Spotify. I got another one saying, I agree completely. We're not sure which part you agree to, but we like it.
We like agreeing.
I feel old because I had 8 tracks in my house growing up. Yeah, that's cool too. I never had the 8 tracks. I grew up, I had tapes.
Yeah.
And then from tapes to CDs, CDs to digital, but I didn't grow up in the 8-track or record era. I was the era past that. But I do remember having tapes, and I remember having Alice Cooper and I'm trying to think of who else at the time, Joe Walsh on a tape. And I used to jam that in my room when I was like 7 years old. I was listening to the Eagles and Joe Walsh and Pink Floyd, and I had it on this tape. And I remember rewinding that tape over and over again until you would burn out the tape and it wouldn't play right anymore. And then you'd have to have another tape recorded and made because it was like a mixtape. It was like the first mixtapes before mixtapes became popular.
Right.
That used to be a thing, man. I mean, that was a little bit before you probably, but like people would make people mixtapes as like a gesture. Like you'd give a girl your mixtape, or she'd give you one. She'd be like, "Here, I made a mixtape for you," and it would be like a CD with like 15 different tracks. And like, think of how ridiculous that is now. Whenever something like
Right.
Spotify and Amazon are there, because you can literally, well, bitch, I don't need it. Click, click, boom, there it is in front of you. So that's all gone. Like it changed an entire generation. It's just crazy to think of because people would do that. Here's a mixtape that I made for you.
Right.
It's a crazy world.
Yeah, that's wild.
I remember having Alice Cooper and Kiss both on my 8-track and vinyl. That's awesome. I like to hear that. Yeah, that's what I was listening to as a kid. I loved Alice Cooper. Still never got to see him. I've seen a lot of bands out there. I've seen mostly everyone. And when I say that, people are like, what the fuck does that mean? I've seen mostly everyone that I'd ever care to see. But I've never got to see Alice Cooper. He's eluded me every time. Something always comes up. He was just here and I missed him. I can't believe he's still playing. He's like 76. He's fucking still killing it.
Right.
And that's passion. That's how you
crazy.
do it. You're like, I'm going to do this shit till I die.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the way it should be. Ozzy's trying, but he's just having a hard time right now. That's a shame, man. I was hoping to see him one last time. Sarah and I had tickets to see Ozzy last year, and he postponed the tour until this year. And you don't get your money back from Ticketmaster. Apparently, they hold it because it's not canceled; it's rebooked.
Right.
You can request it back, I guess, but I mean, they were just automatically rebook it for the new date. So we've waited a whole year, and it was coming up, and now he just announced that he's canceling the whole tour, and I'm like, son of a bitch. You know what I mean? I waited over a year for this one tour, but I mean, I get it. He's got to care for his health first before anything. I've seen Ozzy like 8 times, but I was really hoping to see him one last time because I was thinking that this was probably his very last tour. And a lot of people say that. They're like, they always say it's their last tour. I'm like, no, legitly, I think this is it. And now it's not happening.
Yeah, and it seems like his career is coming to an end. Which is not a bad thing. He had one fucking hell of a career, so.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. We have a question here. I like this question a lot, actually. Way to go, Chris. How do you all feel about albums with skits versus albums without? And that's, excuse me, that's a good question because I've never been a skits rapper, but I like skits a lot in albums. And people have asked me you ever going to put like a skit in? I'm like, I don't know, man. I kind of just like making straight albums. But I've always thought about doing a skit album. But it's just I've never done it. It's something I've never really been my main thing, but I've always wanted to. At some point, maybe I will. But what's your thoughts on it? I like that question.
Skits aren't normally something that I would actually like put into my work. I feel if it would be something like as like the beginning of a song or something. Like I would throw in little things like that into tracks, but I don't think I would actually have full on skits. Not that skits are a bad thing. I feel like skits actually give more flavor to the album, and they how do I want to say it?
They make it more of a
they touch
journey
on
than
the
just
topic.
songs.
Yeah, exactly. Like it gives you something different and a different, outlook on the piece of work rather than, just being straight songs. They're just like, hey, we'll hit you with a song and then like, then we'll have this skit afterwards that actually like goes along with the song. And like to me, that's like a real creative way of going about it. So I don't have a problem with skits. I just personally wouldn't do too many of them.
Yeah, I'm not a big skip guy, like I said.
But that's just me.
Me too.
I just love rapping, man.
Yeah, me too. At some point, I'm gonna have to do that. So, Chris, to answer your question, it's certainly a possibility to do good in either way. It just depends on what you're into. Skits are really good for a lot of artists, but my personal feeling on it, at least on my end, is I'll listen to the skit on the album the first couple times I listen to the album, and then after that, whenever it's like, oh, I want to listen to such and such right now, let's throw some of their music on. At that point, I'm usually not listening to their skits. I'm either picking certain songs, or I start the album, when it hits the skit, I just skip it.
Exactly. Yeah, I've skipped a lot of skits.
Yeah,
so,
I listen to it the first couple times I listen to the album, so it tells me the story. But after that, I'm like, all right, let's get to the music.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I agree with that 100%.
Speaking of getting to the music, we're going to go on one last song break before we come back and finish up the interview here. We have, right now, one more song here. It's I'm Tired by Jay Allen. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this one? And is that cool to play this third song and spill it on them? I think you released this one already, correct?
Yeah, you can go ahead and throw that one on. I'm Tired is basically one day I just like, I don't know, I was just fed up with a bunch of shit. And like I said, the premise of Views from a Cloud, my album is just my views on a lot of things. And I'm Tired is actually a really good example because Intro and Dr. Frankenstein are just, like I said, they're very barred up and just very raw, in-your-face tracks. But I'm Tired is actually one that goes more along with the album, to where it's me talking about real shit and, just my outlook on certain things, just, real raw bars, I feel. And it does sort of have a hook. So
all right, well,
one of my few songs that does.
We're gonna get to hear this hook then. So all right, folks, let's check it out. This is I'm Tired by Jay Allen. We'll be right back.
Look, I'm tired of Facebook asking if I wanna boost my posts. I like my fans organic, you ain't fucking with me, adios. Constantly in a state of comatose, since 8 I've been out of hope. Started sipping at 13 just so I could cope. I help others with problems but then avoid my own. Fixing issues ain't easy when you come from broken homes. Too passionate when I speak, they tell me what's my tone. If you don't like the way I am, then leave my ass alone. They ask me how I am today, I answer no, and they don't care. Way everybody's fake these days and none of them are self-aware. People say you need to change me while they stay the same, like they perfect or something. Man, y'all need to refrain from all the ugly and hate, from all the pressure and pain. Just keep improving each day. Enjoy life while awake. Preaching just be yourself, all while living a lie. Why you letting toxic people take control of your lives? You should be the one to make the rules you wish to abide. Don't get offended by the thoughts, you gotta thicken your hide. And realize they get careless if you live to die. As you grow older, you will find who's truly by your side. That's real, I speak my mind, I get careless how they feel. Everyone gon' kiss my ass when I'm holding the mill, but I won't pay him no mind. Where were you when I needed meals? Damn. From all the ugly and hate, from all the pressure and pain, just keep improving each day. Even if I believed in heaven, I wouldn't go anyway. I stay sinning, never ask for forgiveness, I'm not ashamed. I believe in everyone except myself and God. If he exists and does nothing, why he getting applause? I'm not saying don't believe him, that is not my plot. I'm just saying you want something, then you gotta work hard. I know I'ma lose fans just for speaking my thoughts. For me, weeding out those people doesn't count as a loss.
I'm tired. And I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about the song we just listened to, and that was from Jay Allen. He's been our guest tonight on the show. He's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, hip-hop artist that we've been interviewing for the last hour and a half, finding out a lot about this young man, and he's very impressive, certainly has a wide range of talents in the hip-hop industry, as you heard tonight, some in-your-face just, punches and slaps to a much more heartfelt song, and I'm Tired, that we just got done playing. If you like his music, make sure you follow him, like his pages, pick up any merch that he has, any music he has, pick up the drop of this album once it does drop on March 20th, and support him, show him the love that you show anybody that you enjoy, because you guys are the passion that keeps us going, and we certainly appreciate it. Jay, awesome track.
Thank you.
Now, hold on a second, I got a couple of comments here. We have, on that last topic, we had some people chime in real quick. You nailed it. I skipped through the skits after the first couple of times. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it just makes sense to. And then we go to comments that says, I just personally love albums that are more cinematic. And I see it both ways. I like them both. It's really hard to decide. And we go to comments saying, I love that track.
Good.
So certainly people liking it, and that's what we like to hear. Pick it up when it drops, and that'll be March 20th, as we said. If you have a question for Jay, fire it away now, because we're getting ready to wrap up the show. Other than that, I would like to ask you the most serious question of the night.
What's that?
If you were given an elephant, and you were not allowed to give that elephant away to anybody else, or kill or hurt that elephant, but you had to keep it, what would you do with it?
I think I would just keep it as a pet and just ride it around and take it on walks and shit. Just walk down the street with my elephant. I'd take pride in having an elephant. Honestly, I think elephants are dope. They're really, really amazing creatures. I actually shared a video on Facebook the other day of one painting with its trunk. The elephants are real smart, so I think it would be dope to have an elephant, honestly. I would have no problem with that.
It'd be hard to maintain, but it'd be pretty cool, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, at any point, it could fucking crush me. I would have that fear. But, yeah, I don't know. Elephants are cool.
Now, if you had to...
Crazy question.
Yeah, you like it? Yeah, it's just, I like to do that to people. Serious as hell for almost an hour and a half, and then you slap them with that.
Right.
Throws them on for, in a tailspin. Now, I have one more silly one like that I always like to hear from all the guests that are on the show. Is if you had to pick an animal to reign over all the other animals in the kingdom. And I'm not talking like they rise up and they can talk and they're like mutants or anything. I'm just saying an animal kingdom turns on itself. They're battling battle royale to the ultimate champion. We're not included. Who is the winner of it and why? What animal are you picking?
Oh, shit. Listening in on the show, I've heard this question a lot, and I'm still bamboozled by it. It's a crazy question.
Folks, he just used the word bamboozled. I love it. He just said, I'm bamboozled by that question. That's how you know you got someone good. Not when they're confused, not when they're thrown off, but when they are fucking bamboozled. You know you're doing your job right.
I don't know. Maybe birds, because I feel like they have an advantage just from being able to fly and be in the sky. I mean, insects do too, but I feel like birds, if there's 500,000 fucking birds coming after you, from the sky, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? I feel like birds are highly dangerous, or they can be. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna go with birds. Birds are fucking wild.
Birds can certainly be a little bit deadly, and if you haven't seen the flick, Birds by Alfred Hitchcock, you should check it out. It is a good black and white, good old school movie, and obviously you said when millions of birds just decide to pretty much come down and fuck with you, there's nothing you can do, and that's exactly what happens in this movie. It's the whole premise of the movie. Birds everywhere. Right. Because there are a lot of birds out there, and you got to think, they can come from the sky, they can hit you real quick, they can go back up, you know what I mean? They don't need to land until they want to land, so Yeah, it's definitely a good choice. I don't think anybody's actually ever said birds.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, how many videos on the internet have you seen of people just like walking down the street nonchalantly and then they just get fucked up by a bird and they don't even see it coming? You know what I mean?
You know what? Geese. Geese are fucking mean creatures.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, granted, I chased one on a beach one time just to mess with it. I wasn't gonna hurt it or anything. I love animals, but I was chasing after, just messing with it, and it turned around.
Right.
It turned around and stopped. It held its ground. It hissed, and then like 4 more in the distance turned their head at the same time, and they all looked at me, and I'm like, uh oh. And then they all started chasing me. So I'm booking it down the beach, and I have these 5 geese after me, and they're like snapping at me and hissing. It was crazy. I never realized like geese hissed and that they were like, territorial like that. But it was wild, man. Them fuckers are mean.
Oh yeah, birds will fuck you up, definitely.
Now we have a comment that says, "My cousin is scared of birds." That's a weird phobia, but okay. I mean, they're kind of everywhere. But I'm not quite sure what to even say to that.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like afraid of birds, but I definitely don't fuck with them. Like I don't know, like if there's like a bird coming after me, like I'm definitely gonna probably be terrified. I'm gonna be like, this bird's trying to fuck me up right now. Like, but I don't like if there's just like birds like along the sidewalk or whatever, just doing bird shit, and like I don't know, they don't bother me.
That's my favorite quote of the night. If there's just birds on the side of the road doing bird shit, then they don't bother me. I love it. Make that a quotable right there. No, that's awesome, Jay. I love that shit right there. So why don't you tell us where we can catch your stuff at, what sites you're on, what you are, like, tell us about the album again real quick when it's dropping, and let us know who you want to thank.
Yeah, the album's dropping March 20th. It's called Views from a Cloud by myself, Jay Allen. I believe it's gonna be released on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all that shit. The singles I have out now are actually on Bandcamp. You can purchase them for $1 or, just stream them for free. That's Bandcamp. I'm sure, some people are aware of what Bandcamp is. If you're not, then you can, go to my Facebook page, at Jay Allen, and, find the links there to that. But yeah, Views from a Cloud, March 20th. I have some shows coming up. I'll be sharing the dates and stuff for that on my page. And, yeah, I mean, I want to thank quite a few people, actually, my parents, for supporting me, through this journey. They've been real cool about it, and, helping me out and stuff, and being real supportive, which I like that a lot. Some parents, some kids, they weren't as lucky with their parents, they'll shit on their dreams or whatever, but mine were real supportive of it, so, and they still are, so that's pretty cool. I want to thank, my friends, Chris. Chris is listening in. He's a real good friend of mine. We grew up together. Some other friends of mine, I don't know if they're listening, but, my friend Horner and Reese, I want to thank them. They were real supportive of, the whole rapping thing, too. They still are. They come out to shows sometimes and support me, so. And I want to thank, BBE, of course, for giving me, the shine when nobody else was, taking me from a kid freestyling on Facebook to, doing shows and releasing projects and, getting me where I need to be.
Well, brother, we still have a long way to go, and we're going to have a good journey together. There's still a lot of great things in store for you, so buckle in, and I think 2020 is going to be a good year for you. I think 2021 is going to be even better. That's a ways away, and people are saying 2021, but absolutely give this album time to stew in people's minds. Give it time to be marketed and pushed, people to talk about it, and word of mouth to carry. And I think next year is going to be a fun year for you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to all of it, and like I said, if anything gets in my way, I'm gonna knock it the fuck out. So
donkey
I'm
punch
ready.
it,
Let's get it.
That's what you got to do, is donkey punch your way through it. Now,
Hell
folks, yeah. we got a lot of great news coming up for you. One moment here. All right, I had to grab my schedule because it's just too many dates and names to remember. But next week, we do got Freaky P from Replicon Radio coming on the show. That is going to be on Thursday the 28th, next Thursday. If you're not familiar with Replicon Radio, great underground radio station. They interview a lot of amazing guests, Kane Hodder, Twisted, just all kinds of awesome guests, and they have a great show. I've been fortunate enough to be a guest on their show in the past where they interviewed me, and now I get to flip-flop it on them, and I get to interview one of them. So Freaky P next week on Thursday. The following week, we do have Jay Caulfield. On the 12th, we have model from Brutal Business Entertainment, Layla Page. On the 19th, we have model Amanda Monet. I can't see because it's dark in this room. And on the 26th, Makeshift Earn. All great, entertainers, 2 wonderful models, a hip-hop artist, and a very heavy metal band, and then also a radio host from Replicon Radio. So a lot of great shows coming up in the next few weeks, always bringing you the best entertainment here in the underground. So make sure you check it out. Other than that, as I said, thank our sponsors, Tattooed Scumbag Apparel, Roush Designs, Legion Artworks, 5 Milligram Artworks, and R3 Graphics. And check us out on teambrutalbusiness.com. I love you guys. Jay Allen, appreciate you coming on the show tonight, brother. It was great kicking it, and I look forward to everything to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, man. I just want to lastly thank all the fans, all the people out there that are, listening to me and supporting me. It's my favorite thing to do, and you guys are, going to make me continue to do it and grow, and I just appreciate it. Much love to all of you.
You heard it right there, folks. Much love. We appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night, and we're going to finish out this show with Power Up by artist Diabolic the Monster. Thank you for listening to Uncovering the Underground. We'll see you next week.
Diabolic the Monster. Gasolina. Body count. Hey, 1, 2, 3, that's a body count. I shoot 2, 4, 9, that's somebody's crowd. I hit 3, 6, 5, that's a year around. I call 911, bitches going down. I got 6, everybody's laying around. Like 9/11 jumpers when they hit the ground. I got 1, 2 reasons I don't fuck around. Looking like Under Armour, I protect the house. I got 1 machete and a loaded 9. Hey, 12 rounds, I ain't talking boxing match. Pop breaking in the crib, put a gun in the grill. Now tell me, how you gonna box with that? I drain your blood where the faucet's at. I don't like you kids like a foster dad. Here to tell y'all fucks that the monster back. I'm stomping on hoes, call it monster mash. Hey, Bane on the beat, bring the flame to the street. Oh, gas and my bitch got a monster ass. I'm bringing the wicked, the shrunken head military, and I cover it like a punker where they function at. I got all up in my feelings about the people and the dealers, and they pull it like a temperature, a bang on them hoes. Living really wicked and the people never get it, but I guess it's because I'm fucking strange, I suppose. I-S-T-R-A-N-G-E, pray if you're my enemy. I ain't got the energy, what the fuck's got an enemy? S-T-R-A-N-G-E, pray if you're my enemy. I ain't got the energy, what the fuck's got an enemy? Power up, power up, power up. Yeah, bitch, I power up. I power up, power up. Yeah, bitch, I power up. I power up, power up. Yeah, bitch, I power up. Power up, power up. Yeah. Back to the bars like a relapse. This time, don't nobody get a free pass. Hang him in the freezer and I beat him like a Rocky. I promise to get nobody step a killer in that cold mask. Fully y'all better walk past to get your body surrounded by a chalk dash. You're recycle the same lines, and so it's really easy to see the reasons why you bitches talk trash. Yeah, bitch, I power up. Like I'm being plugged into a receptacle, gripping your neck and like a person with a grudge. Man, I swear to God, it's hard for me to let it go. Triple like diabetic, it's on a couple edibles. Only your homies that think I'm trash, but man, it's all good, cause your girl DM'd and she said I'm incredible. Bitch, you by the lane, I'm all this ready, so people gon' die. I'm a death machine, compounds unstable like I'm tetrazine. Hey, we be on the block like a Tetris team. I'm a soldier, I will not accept defeat. Goddamn, if I wanna kill him, you can call it God's plan. Bitch, I am a god, I got a gun and y'all scram. Hit him with a whip and throw him in the Dodge Ram. Bitch, I got the power on the motherfucker. S-T-R-A-N-G-E, pray if you're my enemy. I ain't got the energy, what the fuck's got an enemy? S-T-R-A-N-G-E, pray if you're my enemy. I ain't got the energy, what the fuck's got an enemy?